Vint, in the summer of '73, when you holed up in that little hotel room, did you think about the impact of your work on the rest of the world?
No, because we were trying to design something for the Defense Department, and we wanted it to work. And we just had powerful experiences with the ARPANET. And Bob Kahn and Larry Roberts and others saw the packet radio program and the packet satellite program as a package for communication, command, and control using computers. So we knew this was powerful technology, but we couldn't imagine that it would become a global phenomenon 40 years later.
So I understand you went to India to look at how you could help them. Tell me about that.
So in 1993, some of my colleagues said, we're trying to get networks to work in India. And Peter Kirstein from University College London, who had worked on the earliest TCPs with us, and I went there. They were trying to use the OSI protocols, and they weren't making very much progress at all. So we said to them in 1993, remember 10 years after the internet has been turned on, maybe you should consider using TCP/IP, which they did. It was the Department of Electronics and their electronics network. They implemented an internet. Instead, it worked and grew, and now India is part of the family.
So is that how it happened with other countries around the world too?
Almost all the countries in the world that became part of the internet environment began in academic environments. So we exported the internet by way of Unix and Ethernet and Sun Microsystems and all these other systems that were based on TCP and Unix, propagated all around the world in the academic setting first, and then people graduated, and when they left they said, where's my internet? And they started internet cafes, and they started their own businesses, and that's how the internet tended to grow all around the world.
So Tom Malone at MIT has talked about it, that in our lifetimes the global brain will form. Did you have thoughts about that? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think that it's a little far-fetched to imagine that a bunch of computers, just because a billion of them are all hooked together, will suddenly become sentient. On the other hand, the internet and the World Wide Web have become adjunct for our own brains. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't remember anything anymore. I just Google it. And so having access to all the world's information everywhere at my fingertips really is like having a brain transplant. It gives me access, as to everyone else, to all of that information. And that, in a sense, is a kind of global brain.
So today we've just finished the picnic in the park to celebrate the 40th anniversary of TCP/IP. And at the end, people talked about how it was the community, it was the philosophy that really was responsible for the internet, not the technology. Please elaborate.
Well, the technology had a lot to do with it because it had to work. If it didn't work, then we wouldn't have the kind of community that we've ended up with. But the roots of the internet lie in the ARPANET, and that was an academic community that was really wedded to the idea that we share information. When we work together, we can do more. And this notion of openness, the idea of a kind of a meritocracy where ideas were valued for themselves, not for who said them or who invented them. That philosophy went very well with the rest of the internet, and I think that has shown us what all of us can do together if we are willing to cooperate.
Thank you very much, Vint Cerf.